tonight I will go over in a lot more details in the classes that I teach. So I hope not to overwhelm you tonight, but I just want to again give you a little bit of information to help you set your goals or know what goals you want to set. So this is a nutrition label. These are on all your food packages, or the majority of them. There's a couple that can still get away without this information there. This, in addition to the ingredient list, is critical for you to understand in choosing foods that are healthy for your body. The nutrition facts can be incredibly confusing. So I just want to go through a little bit of this. Serving size, you see there? Always look at the serving size. All the numbers below that are based just on that serving size. So you might think you know what a serving is. It's not uncommon to see, for example, a packaged muffin. It's one muffin. Serving size should be one muffin, wouldn't you think? But sometimes it says serving size half a muffin, which means if you eat the whole muffin, you've got to double all the numbers that you see there. And that can really change your perspective on whether that food is healthy or not, or a good choice for you or not. Servings per container is useful mostly only in the sense if you're going to eat the whole container. With some of those snack, like those grab bags, again, you think that's one serving, but they might tell you 4 servings in the bag. So if you ate the whole bag, that gives you the number you would use to multiply everything by to figure out what you actually just consumed. Do you need to limit yourself to that serving? Sometimes it's a good idea, sometimes not. That's like a reference point. I compare it to a gas, you go to a gas station, they tell you price per gallon. You might be on empty, and your car might hold 30 gallons. You need 30. The person in line behind you might just be one of those nervous Nelly, snow's coming, they only need 5 extra gallons, but they're putting it in anyway, you know? So how much you actually need varies individually, and we'll get into that a little bit more in my classes that I teach. But just for now to know, look at the serving size, or when you're comparing products side by side, make sure you're comparing equivalent serving sizes to make it a fair comparison. The percent daily values on the far right are based on assuming you're a healthy male in middle age, between 18 and 49, and you have no health conditions. So again, they don't apply to the vast majority of folks, but you can use them, and I'll bring this up in another class. For now, I would just say you can use them in the sense that if it's 5% or less, it's low in something. If it's 20% or more, it's high in something. Again, don't worry about memorizing it. I'll give you information on this later. But in this example, this is totally, like, I think I made up the food, but 12% of dietary fiber, that's pretty good. It's not a low fiber food. Total fat 35, 54%. Wow. Right? Okay. This is a healthy eating pyramid. This is a pyramid that came from Dr. Walter Willett's research group at Harvard. And I use this as well as the food pyramid to help teach you healthy eating habits. And we'll go over this in one of my lectures in more detail again. But this pyramid shows you how to formulate your day. The things at the base of the pyramid you're going to consume more frequency, not necessarily larger portions. This can be a little confusing compared to the other pyramid, but you see whole grains at the bottom. At most meals you want to consume whole grains. These are things like whole wheat bread, shredded wheat, oatmeal, brown rice. We'll go over again in another class what all the whole grains are. And plant oils. These are oils that are liquid at room temperature, not your animal fats, not things like butter or lard, and not solid plant fats either, not things like shortening, Crisco, for example. But these are healthier oils. We're not talking about abundant quantities, but just that's the type of oil you choose, and you use a little bit of that throughout your day. Vegetables in abundance, fruits several times a day, 2 to 3 times a day. Nuts and beans 1 to 3 times a day. Nuts include nut butters. And then protein sources, so basically vegetarian protein sources primarily, and then you can supplement that with a little bit of animal protein in the form of fish or chicken or turkey or eggs, 0 to 2 times a day. You can see red meat is at the very tip. It's very sparingly to rely on red meat. Butter and other saturated fats, which are solid room temperature, very sparingly. And then refined grains. Some people refer to them as white flours. I hesitate to use that because they're not always white, but refined grains like white rice or your breads that are not designated as whole grain. So white breads, but also honey wheat bread, for example, it's not designated as a whole grain. Use those very sparingly.